New construction for move-up buyers in Hamilton County. If you're sitting on a 3% mortgage right now, you probably think moving up means losing hundreds or even thousands of dollars a month. What if I told you there's a way to buy your dream home in Hamilton County, maybe even save money without getting kicked out of the deal halfway through or ending up homeless between closings? By the end of this video, you're going to understand why new construction isn't just about getting a brand new house. It's actually the safest, smartest financial move when you're trying to sell and buy at the same time. And I'm going to show you exactly how it works step by step so you and your family can move into the home you've been dreaming about without the chaos, the temporary housing nightmare, or the regret. Look, I work with families in Hamilton County every single week who are exactly where you are. They've built equity, they're ready to move up, but they're paralyzed because they don't want to screw this up. They've heard horror stories about getting kicked out of deals, about buying before they sell and ending up with 2 mortgages, or even about losing their dream home because the timing didn't line up. And honestly, those fears are real. The traditional process is broken. But here's what people don't realize. Builders operate completely differently than regular sellers. And if you understand how that works, you could actually use it to your advantage. I just closed a deal last month with a couple in Westfield. 2 young people, both working full-time, completely stressed about making this move. They've been looking at resale homes for 6 months, and they kept losing out to all cash offers or getting cold feet because they didn't want to risk their current home sale falling through. We pivoted to new construction, locked in a 4.8 interest rate when the market rate was at 6.5%, and they saved $730 a month compared to what they would have paid on a resale home at the same price. They moved 90 days later, no temporary housing, no double mortgages, no drama. And that's exactly what I want for you. Point number 1, the biggest reason people don't move isn't the timing, it's the mortgage math. They think they can't afford to give up their 3% rate, but here's what nobody's talking about. You bought your house 3 years ago at 3.5% interest, and now rates are at 6.5%, and you feel trapped. What if I told you your new construction home could get you back down to 4.8% or even lower? Here's the reality of builder rate buydowns. Most of my clients buying new construction right now are getting rates between 4.5 and 5.5%, 1 to 2 points below the market rates. And that's not a gimmick, that's real money. Let me put that in actual dollars. If you're buying a $500,000 home, the difference between 6.5% rate and 5% is about $500 a month. On a $700,000 home, you're talking about $700 to $800 a month in savings every single month. So yes, you're leaving your 3% rate behind, but if you're moving from a $350,000 home at 3% to a $600,000 home at 5%, your payment might go up $400 to $500 instead of the $1,200 jump you'd see with a resale home at 6.5%. And that's the difference between we can't afford this and okay, this actually works. So here's why this changes everything. It's like trading in your economy car for an SUV, but still getting economy car gas mileage. You're still getting more space, more bedrooms, better commute without the financial punishment you expected. The builders can offer these rates because they're working directly with either a preferred lender or an in-house lender that they have. They've negotiated bulk deals, so they're incentivized to move their inventory. And right now in Hamilton County, they're sitting on more spec homes than I've seen in years, which means that the deals are real. They want to move this inventory. Here's what that means for you. If you've been sitting on the sidelines because you think the math isn't mathing, you need to run the numbers on new construction before you make that assumption. For a lot of families, it's actually more affordable than buying resale right now. And especially if you're looking in Carmel, Westfield, or Noblesville, where you're already looking at homes priced at $500,000 plus, that monthly savings compounds over the life of the loan. So we're not talking about a few dollars here and there. We're talking about potentially $100,000 in interest savings over a 30-year mortgage. Here's the point number 2. Builders won't kick you out of the contract. So you found your dream home, you're under contract, and 30 days later, the seller kicks you out because someone else made a better offer. And that's legal in Indiana unless you're buying new construction. Here's how it works with a regular resale home. You make an offer contingent on selling your current house, and the seller accepts. But then your agent has to submit something called a first right of refusal or a kickout clause. What that means is if another buyer comes along without a house to sell, the seller can give you 72 hours to remove your contingency, or they'll kick you out. They can walk away from the deal. And if you can't remove that contingency, you lose the house. I've seen it happen a number of times. Families get emotionally attached to the house, and they've already told their kids, they've mentally moved in, and then 30 days into the contract, another offer comes in and they get kicked out. It's brutal. But here's how builders are different. When you sign a contract with a builder, that contract is locked in. They're not going to sell the house out from under you. And yes, they have a timeline for you to get your home on the market and sold. It's usually within 60 to 90 days, depending on the builder, but you're not competing with other buyers still once you're under contract on that house. That house is yours. I had a client just last year who fell in love with a resale home in Carmel. They got their offer accepted, contingent on their home sale, and 3 weeks later, an all-cash buyer showed up. The seller invoked the kickout clause, and my client couldn't remove the contingency that fast. They lost the house. So we pivoted to new construction, and she's been in her home for 8 months now, no drama. Think about what that means when you're trying to coordinate a move with kids in school, jobs to manage, and a timeline that's already stressful. You don't need the added anxiety of wondering if someone's going to swoop in and take your house. You need certainty. And that's exactly what a builder contract gives you. You sign and lock in your price, you lock in your rate, and you know exactly when you're moving in. No one can take that away from you. So here's what this means for you. If you've been avoiding making a move because you're afraid of losing your dream home in the middle of the process, new construction gives you certainty and control. You're not going to get blindsided. Point number 3, you won't end up homeless. The number one thing that keeps people from moving is this. What if we buy before we sell and we get stuck with 2 mortgages? And what if we have to move into temporary housing? What if we end up living with my family for 3 months? With a resale home, that risk is real. You either buy first and hope your house sells fast, or you sell first and hope you find something before you have to move out. Either way, you're gambling on the timing. So here's how the builder timelines change the game. New construction changes the equation. Most builders in Hamilton County are giving you 60 to 90 days from contract to close on your current home. That means you have a locked-in deadline, but it's not a guessing game. You know exactly how much time you have, and you can price and market your home accordingly. Here's how it played out for a client of mine in Noblesville last year. We signed the new construction contract in January. The builder gave us that 90 days to close her current home. We listed her house in February and had it under contract in under 3 weeks. Then we closed it in March. She moved directly from her old house into the new house. No overlap, no temporary housing, no storage unit full of furniture. So the alternative sometimes is chaos. Honestly, compare that to a resale transaction where you're trying to time 2 closings on the same day, praying nothing falls through. I've had clients literally moving stuff into a U-Haul in the driveway while the buyer's doing their final walkthrough. And that's not a process, that's chaos. So here's why this actually reduces your risk. And here's what people don't realize. Having that 60 to 90 day window actually makes it easier to sell your current home. Not harder, because you can price it competitively and you can be realistic about the timeline. And you're not desperate. You're not taking that first lowball offer that comes in because you're terrified you'll be stuck with 2 houses. and you have breathing room. And in real estate, breathing room is everything. If the idea of being stuck between houses is the thing holding you back, new construction actually gives you more control and predictability than trying to line up 2 closings on the same day with a resale home. It's not riskier, it's actually safer. Here's the 4th point, hidden inventory that you're not seeing. If you've been searching Zillow for months and months thinking there's nothing out there, you're only seeing half of the market. You've been scrolling Zillow for 6 months looking for your dream home in Hamilton County, but what if I told you one of the best inventory isn't even listed there? Right now, builders are sitting on more spec inventory in Hamilton County than I've ever seen. We're talking about finished homes, move-in ready, that aren't listed on Zillow or Realtor.com. And why? Because builders sell a lot of these homes directly through agents before they ever go public. If you've been searching for 6 months and nothing fits, wrong layout, wrong location, wrong price, too much work needed, there's a good chance your dream home is actually out there, but you haven't seen it yet. So here's how the builder model actually works. I work with every major builder in Hamilton County. I know exactly what's available, what's coming soon, and what the incentives are before they hit the market. And that's not gatekeeping, that's just how the builder model works. They'd rather sell to a qualified buyer through an agent they trust than wait for somebody to stumble upon their website. And here's why most buyers miss that. It's like trying to find a job by only looking at public job postings. Half of the best opportunities get filled through referrals before they're even ever advertised. Same thing with builder inventory. So the other thing people don't realize is that builders are pretty flexible right now. They're sitting on a lot of homes and they want to move them, which means if you come in with an agent who knows how to negotiate with builders, you're often getting upgrades thrown in, closing cost credits, or even better, rate buy downs, even bigger incentives than they've advertised. But you have to know where to look and you have to know who to talk to. So here's what this means for you. If you've been feeling like there's just nothing out there that fits what you need, please reach out to me because the inventory does actually exist. You just need to access it. By the way, if you're still watching this and thinking, okay, this actually makes sense for my family, but I don't even know where to start, send me a message because I work with move-up buyers in Hamilton County every single week. I know every builder, every community, and every incentive program. So I'll walk you through exactly what's available, what the real numbers look like, and whether this even makes sense for your situation. So no pressure, no sales pitch, just honest guidance. So I'll leave a link in the description so we can get connected personally. So just to recap, new construction isn't just about getting a brand new house with no maintenance issues. It's about getting a lower interest rate that could save you $500 to $800 a month. It's about not getting kicked out of your dream home because somebody else made a better offer. It's about coordinating your sale and purchase without the nightmare of temporary housing or double mortgages. And it's about accessing inventory that buyers never even see. If you came into this video thinking new construction was out of reach or too risky, when you have a home to sell, I hope I've shown you that it's actually the opposite. It's really the safest, smartest move-up strategy in today's market, especially if you're trying to coordinate the sale of a home and the purchase of a home at the same time. Now that you understand why new construction makes sense when you have a home to sell, you need to know exactly how to sell your current home fast without panicking or underpricing your home. In my next video, how to sell your Hamilton County home in 60 days without leaving $50,000 on the table, I'm gonna walk you through the exact pricing and staging strategy I use with move-up clients to get top dollar in a short window. So if you're serious about making this move, that video is coming next. I'll see you there.